Hey guys, Arvindh here, and I've just purchased a brand new subscription of Loom. So I'm making this video in Loom. Let's see how that pans out. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about how you can get more traction for your SaaS. When you think about it, there's a situation where you built your SaaS, you got it out into the public, probably done a launch, but your traction, your revenue, the amount of interest that it's actually getting, the number of people who are paying attention, and more importantly, paying you money, is kind of stagnant, kind of meh, right? There's probably like that initial spike when you probably did a launch on Product Hunt or whatever, but it's not clicking, it's not catching fire, right? When it comes to video games, it's like just grinding through the process, but the progress is very, very slow. You're just facing like a ton of monsters, and every single day seems to be like just a battle for survival. So almost as if, you're playing the game on hard mode, right? You have low loot, XP is just not that good. You're like, it's a slog. But if you think about it, it's very simple that what's happening in your business is something that's actually quite easily fixable, but it is a problem, right? And it is that you don't have product market fit. Now, without going into too much of startup mumbo jumbo, what product market fit means is that you made something that's the product that you made is not matching what the market wants, right? So there are a couple of ways that you can go around doing this, but if you don't address it, right, what happens is that it gets much worse, right? Because even though you may or may not know this, you probably have that pit in your stomach, right, where like, maybe something's not right. And on top of that, what you're doing is that you're probably avoiding marketing it too, right? And I don't mean just blasting out a bunch of different messages on Twitter or making a ton of videos on YouTube or something like that, but it's like genuinely figuring out how you can help your customers succeed. Right? You're not doing that. So that's going to be something that's going to be amplifying the problem that you have. And beyond that, the audience that you're going to be working with, right? Like if you're going to be trying to sell something to somebody who doesn't want that product, right? It's not going to make sense. For example, if someone came to me and they said, hey, I'm going to be giving you a whole bunch of different Snapchat and Instagram filters. Cool, but I don't care. I don't use Instagram. I don't use Snapchat. So, there's a mismatch. So if you're trying to build a product for someone like me, that's not going to work. And finally, you are building a business. It's not a side project. It's not a hobby. It's not a side, hey, I'll just tinker with this in the weekends, right? If it is, then this video is not for you. But in this situation, you also have a limited number of resources, time, effort, money, willpower, that you can apply to this situation. If it's not there, you're screwed. But the thing is, there is a good fix, and it's very, very simple, right? Make shit that people want. It sounds very pithy. I love this saying, and let's dive into how you can actually go about doing it, right? From your current situation, if your product is in this place, if your SaaS is in this place, what you need to do is something called pivot, right? In video game terminology, which I absolutely love, it's like changing the game, basically, right? Or changing your experience of the game, rather. You could go about try doing a different quest. You could go about hunting different monsters. You can play as a different class. You could completely change the game as well, right? Or you could like just shut down the game and go play basketball or something. Whatever it is, right? You're changing that game. In a business sense, what that means is that you need to do this in a very, very specific way. I'm just going to move my beautiful face out of the way. Number one, you got to go fill out the game plan, right? This is me talking about how you can actually do the pivot. Number one, you do fill out the game plan, right? The game plan is me essentially gamifying marketing by turning it into this adventure, right? Where you have a hero who's stuck in a broken world because of monsters. The hero wants to get to paradise, and you, as the guide, you have some superpowers, and you're going to be giving the hero different weapons that they need to defeat their monsters. You send them off on a quest to defeat the big bad, and along the way, they kill monsters, gain experience, gain loot, and level up. All of these things correspond to different aspects of running a business and marketing. So if you want to learn more about this, check out the course, the free course that I have in the description. The doobly-doo, quoting one of my favorite YouTubers. Second step is once you've filled out the game plan, you got to go ahead and do some research, right? You want to make sure that the stuff that you have in the game plan is accurate. And then what you want to do is not click the next button, but go ahead and do a lot more research and get feedback on the stuff that you've been putting out. Beyond this, what you need to understand is that, hey, you had some ideas in the past, you had something in the front, and you made these changes. So now let's change, right? So that's what you're going to be doing with a pivot. But you can't just say overnight, okay, boom, I'm going to be changing this, right? You kind of got to figure out like how you're going to be doing this pivot. What is the kind of messaging you want to put out? What is the kind of changes that you need to do on your website, on your social media? How do you ease people into this change, right? What do you do about existing customers? These are all things that you got to think about, and that's what you do in the pivot plan. And beyond that, you got to start marketing the new thing, right? You shelve the old messaging, you shelve the old marketing content and collateral that you got, and you start pushing out the new stuff. And as you start doing this, it becomes a journey, right? It's almost like a cycle in the sense that you do it once, it may work, it may not work. Then you try, you repeat this process again and again and again until you actually figure out what works. Now, if you have found this video useful and you want to figure out like, hey, how can you supercharge your own SaaS? How can you find your own product that is a painkiller, right? Like something that people will pay money for and has a higher probability of success. Well, I'm running a workshop this Friday. That's a couple of days from now at the time of recording. And it'll also be available in the future as an asynchronous thing that you can purchase. If you want to do that, right, you can go and check out the link in the doobly-doo. What I'm going to be talking about is how do you find that painkiller product idea? That's the main idea behind the workshop. There are going to be some AI prompts that you can use to make your life easier as well. And beyond that, if you need coaching, again, check out the doobly-doo, and that should help you out in terms of whatever you need to find your own painkiller product idea and make your SaaS profitable. That's all I got for you today. I'm going to see you later. Cheers.